there, everybody. I'm Joe, this is Matt, and we are here at Robot Pool Party, here with this week's news in nerdy-related matters.
I guess one of the cool things is that Sci-Fi is developing a Krypton series. It's going to be based on Superman's grandpa, him bringing peace to the planet.
Oh, Grandpa Superman.
He did do a lot for that planet.
Well, is it canon with the Superman universe that we know? Okay, we know nothing about
They
it.
haven't said anything about it. They just said that it's going to be Superman. So, I was never the biggest fan of Superman. I didn't pay attention to the history of Krypton. I didn't know about this lawless time of Krypton.
I like Superman. Not hugely. He's still pretty much one of the biggest Mary Sues in fiction. He's right up there with, Goku. But I'm
going to need you to define Mary Sue. I just laughed and I'm not sure what I mean.
A Mary Sue would be somebody that's good at everything. They have no flaws whatsoever. And that's one of my problems with Goku or Superman, where it's they're super strong, they're unbelievably powerful, but yet they're incredibly humble. And they're just, I don't know, it's there's no flaw to a character. Batman is kind of a Mary Sue, but he's also a broody jerk, so it kind of evens it out.
Well, did you hear that there is going to be a Joker equivalent for Superman?
A Joker equivalent?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't think you can Xerox copy Batman. Even if they made changes for power level, I don't know how well it's going to play.
I'll tell you what they're going to do.
What's up?
They're going to make Mr. Mixpick, I don't know his name.
Mixoplixik?
Mixoplixik?
I don't know.
Okay.
Our cameraman knows the name. What's the name?
Mr. Mixian Pitlick.
Mixian Pitlick?
I don't know. There's a couple more X's in the name.
It's Mixian Pitlick.
Mixian
promise
Pixel.
you.
You promise?
They're going to make him hardcore.
They're going to make him hardcore.
They're going to give him the Glasgow smile. He's just going to start running around stabbing people, taking their eyes, eating them. That's it. He's going to be an eye eater.
Ew. The Corinthian.
Okay.
You didn't read Sandman? Philistines, man. Philistines.
All right.
Oh, this one I think you might like.
Yeah.
So the director for Star Trek 3 walked. He's the writer-director for it. He's Gonzi's. They're looking for a new director for it. The studio is looking at Edgar Wright. But, thanks to the internet, there is a campaign to get Jonathan Frakes
Jonathan Frakes.
to direct Star Trek 3, and he's interested in it.
I am a big fan of Jonathan Frakes. Will Riker is one of the few things I really, really like about The Next Generation. I think we've talked about before that Next Generation is actually my least favorite of the more modern Star Trek shows. But Jonathan Frakes is great in it. He's charming as hell.
It's that soap opera suaveness.
He has got charisma just oozing out of him. Even when
They had a full-time boy to wipe that stuff off him during takes.
Oh yes. But as far as a director, he's directed 2 movies that I know of. One of them being First Contact, which it has the distinction of being one of 2 good Star Trek movies. The other being Insurrection, which is lumped into the countless bad Star Trek movies. He's also directed a lot of TV, not just within Star Trek, but he's continued to be a TV director since then. Based upon just what I know about his directing, I'd say he's better at TV than movies. But, and this is the important part, I thought the second Star Trek, or Into Darkness, I hated it. With very few positive bright spots, I didn't like it.
I didn't finish it. I stopped after the second or third terrorist attack. You're really?
It was bad, and there was way too many throwbacks to Wrath of Khan. So I'm all willing to give it to Jonathan Frakes because it can't get worse. Although I will totally stand behind any director that'll say, I want this to be a movie about Carl Urban as Bones. Because he's fantastic. He nails that role.
You want Carl Urban for everything.
I pretty much do. I want him to be the new T-800. I just want the new Star Trek movies to be about Bones. I want a new Dredd. Carl Urban's a great actor. It's undeniable. He's awesome.
So, we're going to jump a second, then jump back. So, jumping back, if you're interested in Riker as the director, there's a hashtag Bring In Riker. So, totally start tweeting that if you're into that.
Let him be the number 1 in your heart.
Speaking of Carl Urban as T-800, I finally saw the trailer for Terminator.
What did you think of it?
I am surprisingly excited for that. I thought it was going to be, the rational side of my brain says it can still be a cluster, but
We're going to have to bleep that.
what? I said fluff.
Fluff? Okay.
No, I didn't say fluff. We'll work on something. You know what? There's a record scratch. I can totally put that sound over.
That works.
But there's still a great possibility of it being terrible. But that trailer looks amazing.
There's some cool things about the trailer, and there's one or two bad things. Number one, the T-1000 looks great. At a certain point, he cuts off one of his own arms and throws it like a javelin.
And that was awesome.
So awesome. The fact that they have a new woman playing Sarah Connor, and it's actually the second Game of Thrones actress to play Sarah Connor, because Cersei in Game of Thrones played her in the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and this one is Daenerys.
I don't have cable. I mean, I don't have HBO.
I've watched like the first 2 seasons of it, and it is what it is. But the girl's a good actress, and I think that in Terminator it'll be good. My one gripe about the trailer that I saw, and some people might call it blasphemy, no reason to bring in Arnold, none at all. It's like, yeah, we get it. He was the T-800. That's fine. He doesn't need to be in it now. He is way too old, and he was never what I would call a good actor. They probably spent more CGI making Arnold look young again than they did to animate a man made of liquid metal. But yeah, bringing Carl Urban as a T-800, then I'm totally on board.
Yeah.
And bring him in as Sarah Connor.
Bring him in as Sarah
and John Connor.
Yeah, then they can kiss each other. That'd be great.
And Kyle. It'd be Carl Urban on Carl Urban. Get to work, /fiction writers.
It's already been done. You're not treading new waters there, bro. Let's bring back the side.
Next topic.
Sega, some of you may remember, was a gaming system.
They're still around.
What?
They're still around. They're still making mediocre game after mediocre game.
So, what about Sonic versus Mario at the Olympics?
That's a good example of one of their mediocre games. Sonic still shows up in good games, but usually when he does, Sega has nothing to do with him. Like Super Smash Bros.
I think I knew that was coming up.
That was definitely coming up.
But anyway, Sega is going to adapt the game Shinobi to a movie. Which, if you're my age, that was a rite of passage, Shinobi. I mean, I could never get past level 3 because that was... But whatever. Stupid bird.
You're foul mouthed today. It's like I'm like doing a review with a sailor on crack.
I'm a crack sailor. I sail for crack.
There's other movies.
There's other stuff too. They're going to be doing Altered Beast, which I think I played. I just don't remember.
Altered Beast was fantastic because it was a bunch of big, buff, naked guys running around turning into furries. It was one
I don't remember that game.
It was one of those games that came around like just at the dawn of like 16-bit graphics. So they were very primitive, but it had like voice that was incredibly like stilted and odd. It was like "Rise from the grave." It was just ridiculous, but it was fun. It was playable. It was completely goofy.
Do you think it's going to be a good movie?
Oh, absolutely not. None of these will make a good movie. As we go through the list, let's discuss how bad these movies are going to be.
All right, Streets of Rage.
Side-scrolling brawler.
It's just like Final Fight, right?
Final Fight, but it actually had something of a storyline. Final Fight did
Dude, you
too.
think in the movie they'll knock over like oil barrels and there'll be like a meat?
If they embrace the stupidity of it, that would be the only way it would be a good movie. But like the storyline got progressively more ridiculous in Streets of Rage as it went on. The very first game, it was like, we're gritty street cops taking law to the streets of rage. And then by Streets of Rage 3, you had a cyborg and a kangaroo in your team.
What? I hope they jump straight into like Streets of Rage 3 because I would like to see Kangaroo Cop.
I would like that. I'd be all for that. But that one's going to be bad. And I have more to say at the end of this, but let's keep going down the list.
All right, next up, Rise of Nightmares. I'd never heard of this game.
I actually don't think I have either. It sounds like... I want to say it's one where you play as a star, but I actually might be thinking of something else.
It sounds to me like it's one of those Umbrella Corps. What's her...
Oh, like Resident Evil?
Resident Evil game.
No.
That's what it sounded like to me. Crazy Taxi!
Crazy Taxi was fun. Run over people. Get into wrecks. Get people to your destination. That's what's important.
And this is the one with the clown on the cover, right?
No, you're thinking of...
Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal. Crazy Taxi was on the Dreamcast with... I forget the guy's name. It's BD something or another. Because he eventually showed up in the furry racing games, which is my nickname for the Sonic racing games. But yeah, Crazy Taxi. Okay, again, fun game. Gonna be a horrible movie.
What they're getting stuff to their destination. Virtua Fighter.
We don't even need to cover why that movie's going to be bad.
I don't even remember that. Like that was like the thing when you play where you couldn't play Tekken, you couldn't play Mortal Kombat, you couldn't play Street Fighter. Like, wasn't there like another fighting game even between that before?
Virtual Fighter was one of the first games on a 3D plane. Like before there was Tekken, before there was Soul Calibur, there was Virtual Fighter. Like it was new and it was fancy. Like Virtual Fighter was out like I want to say like roughly around the same time that Capcom was experimenting with Street Fighter EX plus Alpha, which was vastly more enjoyable. But yeah, Virtual Fighter again. There's kind of like a vague storyline. Like if somebody told me they're going to make a Virtual Fighter game, I'd be like, why not Battle Arena Toshinden? That was the same kind of like really crappy third perspective fighter. And
I don't even remember that other one.
The last one is actually the one that has the most potential to be a good movie, but when it's going to be a good movie, it's going to be a bad good movie or a good bad movie.
Okay, see, like I'm confused because it's Golden Axe, and isn't that the Gauntlet clone?
It was not a Gauntlet clone. It was actually a side-scrolling fighter, just like Streets of Rage, only with a fantasy spin. And it actually had an overarching story too.
Was there a kangaroo? Because I'm not interested.
There's no kangaroo, but you did eventually ride on like lizards that had like little whip tails that could take people out, and little tiny blue imps that you hit
you
for
know
potions.
what? I remember that game.
You probably played it in an arcade. But here's why these movies are going to be bad. Video game movies are almost never, ever, ever good. The best thing you can hope for is a good bad one, like Super Mario Brothers. That's enjoyable despite how horrible it is. But then when I hear Virtua Fighter, the instant thing I think of is the Dead or Alive movie.
Which Dead or Alive movie?
There was a Dead or Alive movie. And it was
I think you're making stuff up. Can somebody fact check this?
There's a Dead or Alive movie.
He's not making that up.
Okay, you've got confirmation. He is not making this up.
You doubted me whenever I said Michael Jai White was Spawn, and I was right. Now nobody can tell me I'm wrong again.
Well, look, dude, when Michael Jai White backs you up in other things, then I'll believe you.
All right, I'll try to get his approval on all things. But yeah, like these movies, if they put them together, they're going to be bad because number one, they're going to have no budget. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as Sega goes to a company, it's like, we want to make a Streets of Rage movie. Yeah, they're going to be like, here's $40, do it on that.
I don't know, because like studios are desperate for a franchise. So if they're like, I mean, was it Resident Evil 7 now? 6, 7, whatever the stupid movies are? It's
and
like...
They keep making money.
Yeah, and so like I think anybody who's desperate for a franchise, like poor Universal when their little monster movies didn't take off.
I'd actually be really disappointed if one of those movies got made for like a big budget, because there's better worlds and universes you could make a real movie based on. You could make a movie based on the Dragon Age universe or the Mass Effect universe, or even like taking it like back a generation. I mean, right now I'm not the biggest JRPG fan, but a lot of JRPGs had great stories that you could really build on, like the Tales series, or I don't even want to say the Final Fantasy series, because Square Enix is just like I'm done with that. There's somebody I used to know, but no, there's just, I don't know, there's better game worlds than freaking Virtua Fighter to make a movie on. I'd rather take another Dead or Alive movie or a Soul Calibur movie. At least it had a plot.
I would like Super Mario Brothers 3 because I want to see if that.
You just want to skip you want to skip the second one?
Well, that wasn't real. That was
That was a dream. Yeah, that was a dream Mario was having. But
no, like that wasn't even a Mario thing because there was a Mario 2 released in Japan that they thought was too hard, so they didn't release it in America until it came back as Mario: The Lost Levels. But there was a based on
yeah. When you said you want a Mario 3, I thought you meant like an actual, like a trilogy conclusion to the movie that they released.
Oh no, I want to see Tanuki Suits. That's what I want to see.
Oh, okay.
Tanuki Suits and the P-Wing.
You know what has Tanuki Suits?
What?
Super Smash Brothers.
I tried playing that with my little brother when he was in town, and I would just pit over and over and over again. And
why were you Pit?
Because Kid Icarus is one of the best games for Nintendo.
Oh, there's so many better people than Pit in that game.
What? Dude,
Mega Man.
Dude, all that game is button mashing.
Well, yeah, I'm not denying that, but Pit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I beat my 10-year-old niece, so go Pit.
Pit. I'm gonna go home and play Dark Pit just to spite you.
I feel spited already. All right, so Latino Review is reporting rumors of a ride-sharing program that would give a creative control of Spider-Man back to the Marvel Universe. There are rumors that there's going to be, just a split or a sharing of Sony and Marvel and they're just gonna let Marvel have Spider-Man back so that Spider-Man can be in Marvel movies again. First, I'd like to say that this is Latino Review, which has a reputation for busting stuff out first before anybody else, but they also have a reputation for getting it wrong. But unfortunately, they're good at busting stuff out that I really want to hear because I'm looking forward to having a good Spider-Man movie again.
So it's a 50-50, it might be true.
I'm gonna go 60-40. I mean, like, my heart really, really wants this to be true. So, I mean, gosh.
The sad truth of it is that ever since Marvel had their own movie studio, there have been rumors about them regaining the rights to Spider-Man. It's been going on forever, and you always had people like, well, if they don't make a Spider-Man movie every 2 years, the rights go back to Marvel. Or if Fox doesn't do their blood sacrifice on the third equinox of the parallel sunset, then that's when the rights go back to Marvel. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'll believe it whenever it happens. I would love a new Spider-Man movie. I hope when they do reboot it, they don't do origin story again, because I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with that.
Yeah, I don't think you can even tell it. The rumor is, again, really, really appealing rumor, very appealing rumor.
The appealing, delicious rumor.
Dude, I will, like, let me have my fantasy, yo.
All right, I'll let you have it.
The rumor is they're going to reboot the character, no Andrew Garfield, but without the origin story. They're just going to have him plot back into being a superhero. And that's what I want to see. I want to see him swinging around New York City, beating people up. I don't want him to be all emo. I mean, that didn't ruin Spider-Man 3. What ruined Spider-Man 3 was Venom. But,
a lot of things ruined Spider-Man 3.
But, like, I want to see him... I want to see him be like the cartoons, dude. Please let us have those cartoons in movie form.
I would go for that. I actually like the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon with his little team of super friends. But... I know not everybody's a fan of it because it's a little too goofy, but it reminded me of the Teen Titans cartoon.
I like that show. I just think Nova is a little bit too powerful to be on that team.
A little bit. Nova's a little out of balance. But
I think he is like, I'm going to fight a person snatcher with my basic powers. I can fly across the universe.
Fight a lot of crazy stuff like Venom and like big aliens and stuff.
No, dude, they couldn't have rebooted Night Thrasher. You know what I'm talking about? He was a young warrior, new warrior.
I don't know, man.
I'm just saying.
I like White Tiger in it.
Oh, dude, like White Tiger. I like young Iron Fist.
Yeah, where he's like a surfer.
Yeah, and he's all and then.
Well, the only thing I don't like about it is that as much as I like Power Man, he's boring in the cartoon. He just doesn't have like a lot of personality.
No.
He's just like, I'm the tough guy. That's what I do. And there's really not a really defined personality to him. Yeah, well.
He hasn't showed up much in the new season, The Web Warriors.
I haven't seen the new season. I only watch it as it comes on Netflix.
I like it. They're kind of doing this interesting thing where he's traveling around recruiting new people. He teamed up with Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, so they're doing a Justice League Unlimited then, where it's like, let's introduce as many heroes as we can. Teen Titans did the same thing in the last season.
You know who he's the villain, the main villain of Web Warriors is? Taskmaster.
They've been building up Taskmaster in the other season, so cool.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I've got some more nerd trivia for you. They've released the names for the characters in the Star Wars trailer, but they did it in the coolest way possible because they did it in like those old retro Star Wars cards.
The tops,
yeah.
Card, or not playing cards, just
collectible cards. So the beach ball robot is BB-8. Gee, I wonder how large. Does that sound very SEAL-like for you, Lard?
BB-8.
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 BB-8. Beach ball 8.
It's not terrible.
Bouncing boy 8. Blubber boy 8. Whatever. It's gonna beep because he's probably gonna beep if he's an R drummer.
Probably.
BB-8.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cute, and I'm all for the droids. R2-D2 remains my favorite character in the Star Wars universe.
Because he's awesome. He's like, I'm going to bust out my little saw and I'm going to cut through the rope.
That's it. He's like, I'm going to kick butt nonstop. I mean, I like him with 3PO the best, because they had good back and forth, but I don't know. Anyways, the other characters?
The X-Wing pilot, his name is Poe, and I'm embarrassed to say is that I can't read my own handwriting. I think it's Dameron. D-A-M. Yeah.
That sounds like a Star Wars name.
Yep. The Sith Lord is Kylo Ren. And, I'm thinking of Rilo Kelly because, I'm from the 90s. But, that could be cool. Darth Ren. Ren. The girl in the speeder is Rey, R-E-Y. And the Stormtrooper is Finn. and I follow a lot of Star Wars and a lot of Adventure Time blogs. I am really shocked to see that I have not seen a mashup of Adventure Time and Finn, the Stormtrooper.
Give it time.
I'm sure I will, but like I was like, I shouldn't have to look for this stuff. This stuff should be coming to me. I mean, that's the obvious thing.
The internet should be providing this meme for me on a silver platter.
I'm just saying, Adventure Time, come and take your hands. I don't know how I change it for Star Wars, but like I just have them pop up and like, I don't know, it'd be cool. Internet, get on this, dude. I used all my creativity in these note cards. Look how colorful they are.
Next week I want to hold the cue cards.
You could totally hold the cue cards.
All right. I'm gonna manage them. It's gonna be a whole different game.
I'm
gonna be firing stuff at you that you've never heard of before. It's gonna be crazy. Sometimes I'm just gonna throw a cue card in front of you. It's just not even gonna be like words. It's just gonna be like the Prince symbol. All right. What's our last thing?
This one's for me. Like all nerds in the '90s, I played Magic, but like I got into Magic playing Vampire the Masquerade, or what it was called back then, the Jihad, the card game, and I miss it. I'm feeling nostalgia for it, and
you miss Magic or you miss Vampire the Masquerade?
The Vampire the Eternal Struggle. That's what it was called.
Okay.
It was based on the Vampire the Masquerade game, but like, you know, around that same time was the Netrunner games, and Fantasy Flight brought that back into a very superbly living card game, and so I'm hoping that maybe Fantasy Flight would team up with White Wolf and I can get my game back. And I think, like, the thing that made me really appeal to this game that Magic couldn't bring to you was multiplayer. And I understand that they kind of do have a new thing now for that. But anyway, like, and then these living card games, you get a bunch of friends together and you spend a night doing it. And that's why I think it lends well to a living card game. And so, like, I'm hoping for that. I'm pushing for that. So, Fantasy Flight, if you watch my website, like, there's some free money for you, dude. Look it up. No.
Free money.
Yeah, pee on my dreams.
Free money for just a significant investment and risk on your part, Fantasy Flight.
No, because I'm sure it's going to be a minor adjustment to the regular living card games.
All right.
I mean, what do they have, like 8 properties right there? 8 different properties, just that we can kind of glance at.
Yeah.
So I think they'll put some time into it and put a good game out. It'll be great. It'll be a lot of fun, and especially if they work with the old White Wolf team and get some of the older cards, because they were actual characters that grew. I would be super stoked. Super stoked. Please make me stoked. Please make me stoked.
Please make Matt stoked.
Darn it!
I don't want to include that in there.
I thought we had somewhere to go.
No,
I not.
No, I didn't want to record that. I was just talking casually to a friend.
Talking casually to a friend. We're friends. We graduated. Alrighty. So this is one of my favorite bits that we do, and it's where Joe critiques my comic book selection, and I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised, or unpleasantly surprised, either way.
You're disappointed whenever I approve them, and I usually approve of them because your taste actually isn't that bad. I mean, we have people that we're friends with that I wouldn't even be able to handle it, because every time I'd look at a comic, just blood would start rocketing from my nose at how bad their taste is. But yours is pretty good. So
I'm good.
I'm actually more captivated right now by the back of this comic that is just like the old school, like, hey kids, order a Switchblade online. Or not online, on mail order.
Yes, it was just 3 box tops. It's all it took to get a Switchblade.
Yeah, that's it. You can Switchblade. Intimidate your friends. Rule your classroom.
Dude, remember those things that were like the Switchblade, but it was Switchblade comb, and you go like, psh.
Yeah, those are awesome. Mm-hmm. It's like, I am the coolest kid here.
Right, dude. Like, you put that in your jam's pocket, and
the only thing better is when you had one that flipped out. So when you pulled out your comb, you just went, and just the speed and the momentum.
Oh, you do the whole butterfly knife thing.
All right, that was.
You're like, watch out, or I'll part you.
Okay, we are talking about this because Geraldo asked about this.
I thought he was saying it in jest, so I picked it up.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we could talk about this because of our rating, but
we'll just beep it, planet.
Beep planet. We also gonna blur it.
What?
Should I hold it like this?
What? Sure, why
Beep
not?
planet.
I can't blur it. We're screwed.
I've actually heard a couple of people talk about this. Wow, there's a lot of nudity in this.
It's conducive to the story. It's not gratuitous.
It looks pretty gratuitous.
Read the story, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure once I read it, it'll be a little bit. I don't know anything about it, despite a couple people talking about it. This is one of those ones where it's like, what's going on? I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and the art's good. The inside cover's flipping me off. That's a good sign.
What? It's not flipping. It's flipping the moon off, yo.
Actually, it's flipping our cameraman off. You
No,
can't
dude.
see it, but it's happening.
Our cameraman's working so hard
It's like
for
when you
us,
put your
dude.
hand in a pocket to flip somebody off that you're talking to, and you're just like, I don't want to talk to this person. So I'm just going to subvertly flip them off with a hand in my pocket. Am I the only one that does that?
No.
I can't be the only one.
I'm sure people up north do it.
All right, maybe it's a Pennsylvania thing. All right. Oh, and then we got Batgirl.
I like hipster Batgirl. People are really upset about her, but I'm like, dude, she's very Batgirl-esque.
Wow, the very first page, she's in the Friday music video. Mm-hmm. Which seat should I take? Yeah, I don't know.
Keep reading, dude, because then it makes sense.
Well, then she's kicking another Batgirl in the face.
Yeah, so it was an imposter in the Friday Batgirl.
Oh, see, it's kind of interesting because just today, a friend of mine that's really into Batgirl, posted like basically saying that he's sick of the new direction Batgirl's taken, and he was hardcore into the Gail Simone Batgirl. So I'm not sure if it's something that people that are really into Gail's Batgirl don't like this one for whatever reason. I really think that if they did just make her hipster and that she doesn't handle like real crime anymore, that is kind of lame. I like the new outfit, but I haven't really gotten a chance to read over it. People have really mixed opinions about this one. Like some people love it and some people despise it.
I love it. It's fun. I mean, it's not like she fought real Batman villains in the Gail Simone run. She fought the Mirror Dude, and she fought Silver, the weird vampire, for some really stupid reason.
Vampires are serious business. Remember Eddie Murphy as a vampire? Scary.
Mm-hmm. You're just trying to latch onto that Twilight stuff.
Vampire in Brooklyn. I don't know. I will say, like, I'm looking at the villains in this, and they look ridiculous, and I'm having a hard time taking it seriously.
And that's the point. And
which is fine, but I mean, I'm saying it might not be for everybody. I really have to read through it. But by the same token, I'm really not a fan of DC right now because of the whole Batwoman thing, which is a whole other story that's probably out of our content level. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I like the art. I mean, that's one thing I can say. Like, the cover looks rad. Just the fact that it's a horizontal cover is neat.
She's riding a motorcycle because motorcycles are awesome.
Yeah, and it's an action-packed cover. I don't know. Is what it is. Batgirl is, if you like the more serious Gail Simone one, you might not like this one, but you have to check it out for yourself, I guess. But, all right, no other comics?
Nope, broke.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay, well, that's it for another week of Roball Pool Party. As always, if you subscribe to us, we super appreciate it. Also, if you share us with your friends or leave us comments about what you'd like us to cover, we always appreciate that sort of stuff. And I think that's going to be it for this week. Next week, we'll have another slew.
Oh, no, I won't be here next week.
We will not have anything for you next week. It's going to be a drought. And the week after, I might not be here.
Oh, that's cool. I'll be recovering from...
It's a day after Christmas.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
So we won't see you guys before Christmas. So
we won't even see you probably until next year.
Till next year?
I don't think so.
All right, then. Well, then we'll see you when we see you.
But it will be soon. I mean, you just know how it is. You got to go home for family, or they're going to be like, where were you? We haven't seen you. And I'll be like, well, I was going to film my comic book TV show. And that doesn't fly very well. That gets you written out of wills. And I'm kind of counting on that money.
All right.
I don't have to do anything. I know y'all are judging me.
It sounded pretty sinister for a minute.
No.
It's like, it'll interfere with my plans.
Mm-hmm. Did I twiddle my mustache? It's not evil if I don't do this.
It can still be pretty evil.
What?
Just tense your fingers.
What?
Give it a Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns X.
All right. But, yeah, so, well, this will be the last one for a while, but we will be back eventually, sometime soon. And if you subscribe, you'll know when we are.
Ooh, good.
That's how you sell product. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining us. Have a good time. And that's it.